Hey everybody, it's Lon.TV, and we're in the new space. We still have some things to work out, so it will be improving over the next couple of weeks, but the show must go on. So we are shooting a new review today of the Corsair KATAR. This is a 8000 DPI backlit gaming mouse that is pretty nice and not very expensive, $29.99 at the time that I'm recording this video. And this is very similar to a keyboard we looked at from Corsair a couple of weeks ago that cost a lot less than mechanical keyboards from Corsair do, but has all of the same software features. This follows a similar function here, so you get a lot of nice macro capability in an inexpensive package. Now, I should mention in the interest of full disclosure that this came in through the Amazon Vine program free of charge. However, I've had no direct communication with Corsair or with Amazon. All the opinions you're about to hear are my own. No one is paying for this review, and no one is reviewing this video before it is posted. All right, let's have a look at the hardware. There isn't much to see here, actually. It's a pretty simple product. Pretty lightweight, made out of plastic. It is an optical mouse. It goes up to 8000 DPI. You got rubberized grips here on both the left and the right, so really comfortable grip. But there's only 4 buttons. There's no buttons on the side. You have the 2 mouse buttons on top here, a scrolling click wheel that only clicks in. You can't go left or right with it. And there's also a DPI adjustment here as well, and that is it. But I do like the buttons because they can be pushed all the way back here or all the way at the front or anywhere in between. So you can really hold the mouse any way that's comfortable and get a good mouse actuation and click to it. It's got a nice mechanical click to it, decent travel and return on it also. Really comfortable, actually, surprisingly so, for a $30 mouse. There is a backlight on the back here. They went back to the old Corsair logo. A lot of people did not like their gaming logo, so they switched everything back to the old logo in case it was bothering you. So you've got that. It only lights up red though, and you can turn it off or have it pulsate. It connects via USB, but there is no braided cable. It's just the standard USB plastic cable. Again, I wouldn't expect more out of a $30 product. And of course, it is an optical mouse. But what I really like about Corsair's low-cost gaming items is that they do work with the software that the more expensive stuff does. So we can actually configure all of these buttons to do something different than the default. So you don't have as many options to do different things like macros just because you don't have enough buttons, but the buttons you do have can be configured identically to other more expensive mice. So let's check out that software now and see how it works. All right, here is the software control panel. This is the same software control panel for other more expensive Corsair devices. Just on this one, we have less buttons to configure. So realistically, these two, the scroll button and the DPI button, are the ones you'll most likely change their function of. The left and right mouse button you probably won't want to do, but you can if you want. You just have to reassign those buttons first before you do it. So they don't allow you to change the left mouse button until you give another button on the mouse the left mouse button option. So a little thing you got to do first there. I'll show you one of the configuration options in a second. Lighting here speaks for itself. You can turn on or off that backlight on the logo there, so you can have it pulse or turn it off or leave it on if you wish. So very limited settings there. Now this is the interesting feature, the DPI feature. So I'm going to pull up my 2-up screen here, and as I push this button, you'll see that it's cycling through different options for my mouse. And what this is doing is actually adjusting the sensitivity of the mouse on the fly. And you can set each of these stages to be a different level of sensitivity up to the mouse's maximum of 8000 DPI. So I'm going to go switch over to a game of Portal 2 that I'm playing right now, and you can see the effect of pushing that button. So you can see right now I'm making very large mouse movements, and my character is not looking too quickly around the screen here because we have it at a very low DPI setting. So now if I go back here and push the button a couple of times, you can see what a difference that makes, and that is what the DPI setting does. So you can make it very fine here or push it a couple of times and go much faster. And then again, you can change the increments in which that works. Now I'm going to switch back to the configuration software real quick and show you how to adjust some of those button settings here so we can maybe change the function of that DPI button. So what I'm going to do here is go into create a new action. And what I'm going to do this time is make it spit out some text. So I'm going to type in the word text here for the name of this command that I'm giving it, and I'll just type out some text here. And now if I hit OK, this is going to change the function of that middle button. So if I switch back to our 2-up screen here, go over to Notepad, now when I push that middle button, I get a whole string of text coming out of that. So if you are a game player and you have some things you want to execute in quick fashion together, you can program this button to do that. So it's not just keystrokes. It could be a keystroke plus a mouse click. It can be a combination of mouse clicks, a scroll wheel, a number, whatever you want to do, you can map to these buttons. And we've done that on some other Corsair videos in the past. Any you've got some things like sniper buttons where you can program a button to slow the mouse down while the button is pushed down, and then when you release it, it'll go back to the other DPI setting. Again, it's just really nice to see a product here that costs $30 yet has features that you see on much, much more expensive products here. So that is really good to see. You do get a few less buttons on here, but it can do what other mice can do for more money. And that's what's been great to see what Corsair has been doing with some of these lower end products in their gaming line, which is offer something powerful for a very reasonable price. You can get this mouse along with that keyboard for maybe just over $100, which is not a bad deal, especially when you look at some of Corsair's mechanical gaming keyboards, which cost a lot more. We've been looking at a lot of gaming gear on the channel over the last couple of weeks, and all of it has been expensive. You know, $150 mice, $200 and something keyboards, and you know, it's nice to have that kind of stuff. It's really well built and really high quality, but not everybody can afford that. And if you want to be competitive, you sometimes need some of these new macro features that they're offering, or the sniper features or whatever. And now you can get into that with a product like this and with that other keyboard that they're offering too, and be competitive without breaking the bank. And it's really good to see them doing that kind of stuff. Also want to thank all of you for bearing with me over the next couple of weeks while we get this new space kind of figured out. It's always a change when I move all my gear around. Things stop working the way they were working in other rooms of the house, but this is my new permanent home down here. My first video I'm shooting here, as a matter of fact, so I will be tweaking and adjusting and making everything better over time. So if there are things that you're noticing that you don't like, do let me know down below. The chances are I'm pretty much aware of them, but I always do like to hear what you have to say, because I'm going to be bringing in a couple of professionals to get this place tweaked out a little bit better. In the interim, though, I'll be keeping producing content because I don't like to stop. So we will be tweaking as we go, but I wanted to get the minimally viable studio up and running so I can keep operating. So more to come. Thanks everybody for watching, and thank you for your support. This is Lon.TV. Thanks for watching. This channel is brought to you by my Patreon supporters. If you want to help the channel, you can by contributing as little as $1 a month. Head over to Lon.TV/Patreon to learn more. And don't forget to subscribe. Visit Lon.TV/S.